Some said it was a shock, some it's not surprising. The latest downgrade of South Africa's credit rating by ratings agency Moody's will affect government's cost of borrowing, which in turn could have an impact on inflation in South Africa. But organised labour says the downgrade should not be too much of a concern. Last night, Moody's, the global rating agency, downgrading our sovereign rating to Baa2 from Baa1 on both a local currency and foreign currency basis. The agency also revised the country's credit outlook from negative to stable.
The country's poor medium-term growth prospects as one of its reasons for a downgrade. Is also concerned about the continuing energy shortages and rising interest rates. It says the likelihood is that this will cause the government's debt ratio to keep rising. Nkunzi investment analyst Owen Ngomo says this will make borrowing for companies such as Eskom very expensive, and by extension, this rating puts an already squeezed consumer in a very tight position.
It talks to inflation going up, and if inflation is going to go up, Mr. Kganyago at his next South African Reserve Bank meeting may be forced to push interest rates higher. So what does this mean for you and me? We'll pay more for our cars, pay more for our loans, we'll pay more for our credit cards. It's quite unfortunate, really.
Moody's move was widely expected by the market, and further downgrades soon are unlikely. Organised labour says it's not a crisis.
The significance of a downgrade of Moody is not of such a big significance for us. But I think the process that the Deputy President have started to look at the labour relations in the country and to also look at the other reform measures that needs to be done, like for instance the supply of electricity, is something that's quite important.
In response, the National Treasury has acknowledged that economic growth has slowed and that growth-inducing initiatives are needed. It says it's committed to narrowing the budget deficit, stabilizing debt and rebuilding the fiscal space. Diabo Sito, SABC News, Johannesburg.